Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about last thing that we need to arrange our page in a more proper way. So in this video we're going to talk about positioning. So what is positioning? So positioning is in fact how we position our different elements on our site, how we want them to appear, where we want them to appear, how they should be there. Okay, so for positioning we have four values. The first is static, the second is relative, the third is absolute, and the fourth one is fixed. Now let's try and add them one by one. Let's go inside this block, first one, and here we'll add position. Let's say static. Let's go down and let's say static. We'll save it. You can see that there's no change here because this element abides the standard HTML positioning rules. Okay, this is by default. Position is static. Where you place the element, that is a static position of that element. Okay, the next property that we're going to see is for positioning is called as relative. This is the value. Okay, and for relative, suppose I have positioned it relative. So what is it in relative to? So it is relative to the parent tag. Suppose we have this div and inside this div we have one more div. So suppose this is the parent div and we have a child div. So the child div will be relative to this parent div. Okay, now but we have this div, this is a child, and the whole website or the whole page is the parent. So the position relative will be relative to the parent. Okay, now for relative we use it left and we'll move it left to, suppose, let's say 50 pixels. Now I'll save it. You can see that I added position relative left 50 pixels. It means that it will move to right side from the left side a distance of 50 pixels. Understand this properly because it's very hard to understand. Left means you guys think that it will move to left 50 pixels, but no. Position relative in that left means move to the right side of the screen from left relative to the left position a distance of 50 pixels. Okay, and if I add right here, let's remove this. I'll add right and I'll say 20 pixels and I'll save it. The code breaks. Let me just, okay, and if I even do it a little bit smaller and I'll save it. Okay, I'll do it 30 pixels. What happens? As soon as I keep on increasing, the code keeps on breaking. It will go outside of your page because what happens is it's moving to the left side from the right side a distance of 50 pixels, but your browser window does not have that much size. It does not have 50 pixels on the left side. So what it will do is it will go outside of that browser window and it will not show up. Okay, I'll add 10 pixels here again and I'll save it. There are three properties which you can use in position relative. Sorry, there are 5 properties that you can use in position relative, 4 to 5 properties. This top, you can also use, let's say, top. Now stop here and think what will happen once I add this code. Once I added this top 10 px, what will happen? So it will move down from the top a distance of 10 pixels or the length of 10 pixels, and if I add it to bottom, I'll save it, it will move top from the bottom a distance of 10 px. Position relative, keep it in mind. Once you add bottom, it does not mean that it will move down 10 pixels. It will move up from the bottom relative position 10 pixels. Okay, now the next one that we have is called as absolute, and in relative there's one more thing. It only changes the position of this block. Okay, and all the other elements and all the other positioning of all the other elements is same. It is not changed. Okay, but as soon as you add absolute here, let's see. Just remove this. Now I'll save it. Now you can see that the positioning of everything has changed, and absolute means now the block will be positioned leaving 10 px from the bottom. It will just leave 10 px of distance from the bottom and it will be positioned there. Now if I change it to top, it will leave 10 px of size on the top and it will be positioned there. If I write it left, 10 px of size from the left will be left and will be positioned there. Same for right, 10 px of size from the right will be left and will be positioned there. And this block, the position of this block will be occupied by the following blocks or the following things that we have. This div will shift here and all the other will follow it. Take its place. Okay. Now the last one that we have is called as fixed. Let's again try fixed. We'll save it. Remove this right. I'll save it. Okay, let's just add a few more divs. Copy it so that we can scroll, you know. We will need to scroll. We'll save it. Now you can see that I have added many divs and I'm scrolling through them, but this heading one or this first div is fixed. That is because we added the position of fixed to it. Okay. It is basically used when you visit a website and you see that we have this navigation menu and it is fixed even though you scroll it. Then also you have this sidebar or a few ads that you have displayed, article, a site tag that you have used. You want them to be fixed, so they are used. Okay. So this were the 4 positioning styles that we saw. And you can just pause the video at any part you like, try it out for yourself, because again, it's hard to understand. Once you try it, then only you can understand it. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.